Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to episode number 34 of our Let's Play series, playing Ultimate General American Revolution. This is taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel, and we are deep into it. We had, just 2 episodes ago, we had 10,000 men between Fort Clinton and New Haven. That force has been more than cut in half. We have inflicted heavier losses on the British than they on us, but this campaign is quickly turning into a very concerning war of attrition, which while in the long term, if I'm given time and money and resources to recruit replacements, it's a bit concerning in the short term because I don't have the specialists or the schools set up to provide the officers I need to quickly replace these losses. And if the British keep sending more forces, we may be in trouble. In today's episode, we are on the verge of fighting a battle for New York again, this time against a primarily Hessian army, which we beat up last time, but they outnumber us in terms of manpower. It's going to come down to artillery. This is taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel, as always, so let's go ahead and just jump back into this thing. So I guess, hopefully, the artillery advantage that we have will make up for, because here's the other thing. We are only down by 200 men. We have 5 batteries, they have 2. So the artillery is in our advantage. However, that means they have considerably more infantry than we do, because each one of these artillery represent 100 men. So that brings our infantry tally from, I mean, they're not at full strength, but let's assume that brings our infantry tally down to around 2,400 versus their infantry tally of about 2,900. But the 2,400 is reduced even further because we've got these supply companies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 more supply company soldiers. So that brings us from 2,400 to like 1,900 infantry against 2,900 infantry. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And fight this battle. Unless, do we need to wait for Finish to do a poll? Are you gonna do a poll? You want to see who's going to win? But yeah, so these odds, it makes me nervous because I think we've got about 1,900, 1,700 infantry, and they've got 2,900. So that artillery is going to have to do some heavy lifting. We'll see. No, I don't feel like stalling for 10 minutes. Sorry. Already stalled for a while. All right, we'll have to see what happens here. As long as, just, you know, get my guns ammo. We're not... Okay, so actually this... They're not on my flank, so that's good. We can try and position ourselves in this wood here. Although they'll be coming through it also. Alternatively, we can try and pull back to this wood line. Get them to come at us there. We can't really get all that close to it, though. The deployment boxes are an improvement over what they had before, but it is still a little frustrating the way that it works. I'm going to try and rush for that wood line on our lower left. My troops are not going to be in great condition, though. Theirs might be better because they're coming out of New York, presumably fresh. Might make sense to sacrifice a single company to delay them a little bit. All right, we're going to form up in this wood line here where Arnold is. We'll have one company give its live. they're already triggering the exhausted. Great. Wish I could detach some of these guys to be skirmishers. I'm imagining they're going to try and go over my left flank and use this wood here as a bit of cover. We'll see, though. This lone company got chewed up pretty good, but hopefully they bought us the time we need. Our troops are getting into position now. Where are these guns trying to go? Alright, form up a little bit of a reserve. Alright, so they're recovering some of their conditioning here as they wait. Some of the boys are going up and over the left. We'll commit some artillery to that flank here. We got 3 batteries there. Alright, many of our troops, not all, but many of our troops have gained back a lot of their conditioning. Alright. Benedict, you're gonna need to get your command zone up a bit. I don't know. Alright, we'll put another regiment up here. They're coming up and over our left hard. They're committing a lot of troops to that left flank. No, 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 no. Whatever you do not pursue. You stay in that wood line. Fall back if you're getting shot by your own guns, but... Clear the gun line. Fall back behind it. Alright, they broke that first flank regiment. They may get more. Why are they all shifting around so much? Is it the batteries? They're in their way? Like, what do you... This has not been a well put together defense on my end. These guys keep shifting left and right, and I think it's because the guns are hitting them or something. Like, where you're moving literally while you're being shot at, and now you're routing them. They just charged 5 companies all in on one of mine. And that company is melting. This is going to be a defeat, guys. I'm pretty certain this is going to be a defeat. They've just got too many infantry. I've got too many specialists in my army. And now my gunners are deciding they want to melee rather than fire canister into them because they're morons. Friendly fire! Who are you friendly firing? You're not even on your guns. Get back on your damn guns. You are gunners. Your job is to fire cannon. I don't know who's shooting into your lines, but I see no sign of friendly fire. Hey, we captured one of their companies. Should have held up near the front wood line. How about you shoot at the guys right in front of you with your cannons? I don't know why they're retreating that way. We got one unit here holding on the right flank. Hey, wait a minute. I've got more troops that did I forget? Where did these guys... Did I totally miss these guys, or did they just show up? I mean, it looks like a ragtag group. But... Okay. Because, you know, the artillery that they've got is probably more valuable than the limited number of infantry they've got, but... Hey, look, another unit surrendered. Well, we got one full battery here of... Are they 6-pounders? Please be gods. No, 4-pounders. We got one battery of 4-pounders firing canisters between our line here. We've reformed a new line-ish. Guys, you don't need to do that. You don't need to quite advance as heroically as you might be thinking you do. Alright. Men there. No, you need to actually deploy south to block this enemy advance. Oh, big division. 200 redcoats moving through the woods. Not what I want to fight. Maybe those guns can switch over. They're retreating! They're retreating! What? Okay. Like George McClellan did! Or maybe not McClellan, but I don't know, Hookered? Hookered it? If only I had cavalry to exploit this. Can we wreck a few of their companies and turn this into a real victory? Burnsides it? I guess, yeah. That works. My troops are all like, we're tired. Stop making us run. Alright, I think we wrecked that one group of artillery. The artillery is the easiest to chase down. It is, despite being horse-drawn, it is very slow. There we go. Got him. Shatter those companies, don't let them reform. I don't want to deal with more redcoats than I have to in the next battle. I'd like as many of these companies destroyed as possible. Everybody wants a break. They're all tired. Alright. It's weird they retreated despite not, like, usually they wait till that power bar is way off, but... I don't know if this game was Josh. Ultimate General Gettysburg was made by Darth Mod. Then Ultimate General Civil War. And when you say made by, I believe he was the designer. I don't know that he was the coder. I think he designed the game. I think Darth ended up doing Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought after that, and then a different team did Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. Although maybe he had some influence over it, but I don't think he was the designer of Age of Sail. And I believe this was made by the team that made Age of Sail. I mean, it's all the same company, but it's not, you know. Game Labs has multiple teams. Alright. Alright, so 3,100 versus 3,100. I guess that was our infantry total. We lost 1,100 men, so about a third of our, little more than a third of our force. They lost just shy of 2,000 men, so it ended up favoring us. But again, those are losses that, while are advantageous to us, are also not exactly great when we know they're about to land another army somewhere. So, like, if they land troops in Boston, we're fucked. I can't put together a 3,000 or 4,000 man army to hold out up there. All right. What I will say though is, since these guys are all defeated and retreating, it is time to make a play for Fort Clinton. That may draw the troops in Penn out if they really have 2,000 men there on my flank. They're going to retreat to Clinton, aren't they? I guess go try and take New York. Do you not charge forward like that? Because if your character dies, the game ends. No. Valcour Island. An American fleet under the command of Benedict Arnold engaged a British force under the overall direction of Guy Carleton on Lake Champlain. Yeah, so weird that the events continue to follow Saratoga. When you consider that Arnold's down here at New York. So... Alright, we got multiple battles kicking off here. First most important one to go quickly is the Battle of Fort Clinton, I think. They've got 700 men badly beaten up. We've got 1,300 fresh men coming in. So we'll fight that one first. It says it's not responding, but I think it's fine. Yep. Okay, so we got a battle here at New York. This is New York. Isn't this Fort Carleton? Whatever. All right. Butcher, you're way back. Maybe go join the boys. We'll merge these companies. Can I not deploy these guys? Oh. What? I'm confused. I can't issue orders to them? What is going on here? This is different. So I can issue order... What? Why is the drag not working? That was weird. It's working now, I think. Yeah. I don't understand what that was all about. That was very weird. I did Alt-Tab, so maybe I threw something off. Everybody do the merge dance. King George sends his regards. I mean... It's been more like us sending our regards to King George. This has not been a pretty war for them so far. I'm pretty sure they would have gone through like 5 parliaments. They would have lost worse than the Tories just lost to Labour today. I already said this, but I think it is particularly hilarious that the British had, like, basically an utter collapse of the ruling party in an election on the day of America's Independence Day. I just think that's funny. I don't even follow British politics. I don't really care, but I think it is funny. I think they're falling back into the fort, which isn't great for even odds-ish, because it's a level 2 fort that I don't particularly... I've got 1 battery of artillery, not enough to assail this position, but we're going to have to give it a go. Gotta keep the pressure up on the Brits. I think we might be able to overwhelm them. Just break through at 1 spot. Interesting. They may have too many companies to man the walls of this fort. At least on this side. But they have plenty of artillery, it would seem. Or at least some artillery. Alright, you pound these guns in the walls. I wonder if it's better that they have guns on the fort rather than in the like on the second and the interior walls. Might make it easier to overrun that position.
Through.
Okay. Oh shit, looks like the reinforcements have arrived, because that strength meter just changed. Forwards, men.
Keep moving.
This is a weird fort battle. 2 companies in front of the fort. Both very small. Artillery on the walls, but less than 50% strength. And I don't even know if that battery's deployed. One of their companies surrendered right away. We're broken through. We overran a battery of artillery too. Pull them out of there. Can we just overrun them with melee? Because that'd be nice. Is it possible the reinforcements are not in the fort yet? I kind of wonder that. Can you fire? Guys, form up and shoot. Alright, these guys are trapped in the inside of the fort, which is not great. What about they just wrecked those guys? Alright, so one of our lead companies got wrecked, which is not good because we don't have a lot to spare. The reinforcements are coming up. Alright, the guys trapped in the middle of the fort are getting wrecked pretty hard. Okay, that company's routed. That company's routed. It still has their strength as being better than ours, but I think we have the advantage that a couple of our companies are very large compared to them. So single volleys are destroying entire enemy companies. What are you blocked by? Okay, those guys are retreating left. Did any of these troops back here regain their will to fight? Kind of, sort of. Alright, they were shattered. Just destroy this army on the field, boys. Not ours, theirs, that is. Another company shattered. Once you get in the walls, these things become... It's like mold. Once you get in the walls, it is a problem. They've still got more reserves coming up, so the reinforcements may not have all arrived yet. We may just be wrecking the initial force. Did any of our troops rally? Any more of our troops rally? I got the supply boys. I can have them pick their muskets up and start fighting. And get these guys up on that wall. So the problem they're having also is, even though as their reserves are coming up, they're coming up kind of like all on top of each other. So I think that's helping us. Alright, can these boys get along the wall and get the defensive bonus of being on a fort? Trying to get them deployed along that wall. They're routed. Alright, I think this is over. I think we're going to win. We're going to have 2 companies deployed along the fort wall, I think. With 2 companies extending the line out to the right. Double the size of the next largest enemy company. This is still part of the Battle of New York. Guys, shoot these guys. Like, what are you doing? Are you glitching out, or are you gonna fire a volley? There you go. We shattered the artillery. So now it's just eliminating these enemy companies as they come up. We're defeating them in detail. They're bringing up more and more men slowly, one at a time, and we're wrecking each company as it comes up. No, I don't think I've got the conditioning to charge them. My boys are too tired. Maybe some of the troops in the rear. Better to just grind him down with constant volleys. $360 muskets versus 80 men who weren't even formed up yet. That's not fair. Also, I think their reserves marched to the battle, so they probably came in tired. The general can't really do anything, and unlike Total War, the general can't, like, charge into the fray. And also, given that it is my character, again, I've said this multiple times today, but if Horatio Butcher the General dies, the game is over. You lose. So I could charge, I just don't think he'd be very effective. You can get in there, you can take casualties. This isn't the Middle Ages, though. I don't know that that would be smart. Thank you for the follow. Astovitz. Washington is the default for the Americans. I changed his name to Horatio Butcher, but it's still the Washington, like, silhouette. But I made him my own. Alright, boys, I think it's just these 2 companies. Let's wipe them out. My boys are all too tired. I'm curious why they're not retreating from the map. I guess these are merged companies because they got the plus sign, which usually makes it harder for them to rout. Oh, there they go. It just triggered the victory now. They really thought they had a chance, I guess. Ben Arnold is Butcher's successor? Maybe. But my general just won this victory, so... Huzzah, huzzah to my character. Alright, so the enemy had 1,200 men. They actually outnumbered us once the reinforcements showed up. We had 1,100. We took about 50% casualties, 447. They took a lot more. They took 800 casualties, so 3/4. So we'll have to see where Benedict Arnold's battle stands, but that's a pretty big victory for us. We know there's a sort of a twin battle being fought closer to New York. All right, so Butcher just routed these guys. Skipwith is being pushed back by 600 redcoats under Hudson near the Hudson Highlands. Arnold is not fighting a battle near New York. I thought there was another battle being fought, but maybe not. What's this? We've got 1,800 men here versus 400, but the enemy could bring in another considerable number of reinforcements. I think it's the 1,400 at Hempstead. So let's fight. Well, let's just not. Actually, let's wait. Because I don't know that the reinforcements will factor in if they don't show up. Alright. Hessian Regiment wiped out. Hessian Regiment wiped out. Hessian Regiment wiped out. Construction of fur traders' houses is done. Specialist recruitment was done 2 days ago. New York is captured. Good job, boys. I don't really want to fight this battle. Can my character do it by himself? I'm hoping he can.
Double quick! Double quick! Charge forward!
Where are those redcoats going anyway? Let's do this. Let's pull the 300 men out of here. Have them go join the rout. Maybe we'll wipe this British regiment out. Fresh militiamen into the fray.
Aim true.
Run them down, maybe. Alright, so they've got 1,800 men left at Hempstead. The bulk, I don't know where if they have more troops heading anywhere out of Penn. But now the real problem is we know there's an invasion coming inside 2 weeks. And I've got basically no troops left to deal with that invasion. So we're going to put these guys up to New Haven. So I'm hoping they deploy to Hempstead thinking like, oh, we need to reinforce where we're getting rocked, or make another play for New York, because I really don't want to try to have to pull together a huge force to go save Boston, which, I mean, we won't get there in time even if they are coming, and I don't have the resources to raise new troops.
true.
What's going on down here? Okay, guys, get out of there. Skip with. Don't pursue. 600. All right, so they've got about 11, 17. They got about 2 grand around Penn-ish.
Keep moving.
So New York is ours for the second time since the start of the campaign. It's pretty laughable that the British are deploying another emergency reserve force so soon after they lost almost 20,000 men now in the New York campaign. I think that's a little silly, but anyway. All right, so what do we've got? What do we have? We've got several very badly beat up regiments. However, we do have about 3,100 troops at Montgomery. Enemy's got about 2,000, so we're shadowing them. 1,000 at New York, 800 at Clinton, 300 at Haven. Some of those will start drawing reinforcements quickly. The fur trader houses that we built are all just stacking up. I need more specialists. We're going to use our reputation we just gained to get those more quickly. To try and reinforce more quickly. New York has recruits? Not really. New Haven has... Well, they did previously have plenty of recruits. We should get those additional specialists tomorrow, which will then feed into trying to replace these losses. Alright. I mean, these guys reinforced pretty much fully within the companies that exist. We've got to raise new companies. They love us in New Hampshire, in New Haven. Let's pull these 500 men to Boston, maybe. I just don't. It would be not if we had a northern army. I'd feel a lot better. But we are so thin everywhere. We've got a small force at Fort St. John in the north. But if they bring a bunch of reserves anywhere along the Massachusetts or Connecticut coast, we're in trouble. I don't have the strength to push out toward Fort Penn quite yet. All right, let's do this. Let's build our force at Hartford once we get a better idea of where these guys are coming. Because Hartford should be a nice place to draw some reinforcements from, too. Let's pull the weakest regiments out to get up there to draw reinforcements. Might take him 2 weeks just to get into position, let alone reinforce. Alright, so they got about 4,000 men between Fort Penn and Hempstead. Probably not enough for them to make a major push anywhere, but... Alright, these boys reinforced, so that's good at least. What's our ammo situation at? Have we burned all that? We do have a little bit of ammo in stock. Let's sell these furs to get some money back. And then rum... Textiles... We used all our wagons up by the looks of it. We're not even producing any new wagons right now. I get a 145 on lumber. I'm a big lumber exporter. It fuels my economy, and that and unused construction materials. Because while I am building a decent amount of stuff, I'm producing way more than I'm spending. So we're back up to 41,000. Could build some dragoons. Almost enough for 2 companies. 1,300 brown besses. 500 Charlevilles. I don't know where, I wonder if we got those from the Germans. I don't think I had that many in stock. And we're still researching the hunters, right? Who's Benjamin Talamage? I don't know who that is. Never heard of him. Give me better reporting, I guess. A new general. I mean, I've got a general I'm not using. More ammo and reporting. Alright. We used all the specialists up. So I'm not even going to have specialists to replace my losses on these regiments showing up to New Hartford here in a minute. I guess we can scrap a couple militia companies to free up some specialists for that work. Let's bring Butcher out, move him to Clinton. I think from Clinton he'll be able to see Montgomery, Clinton, and New York. I think. Oh, God. This is where they're coming, Canada, huh? Fearing the potential loss of Canada and concerned about its strategic importance, King George III issues a directive to British military commanders to prioritize the reconquest of Canada. Recognizing its significance as a valuable territory with access to crucial trade routes, Native American allies, the King believes that regaining control of Canada would bolster British influence in North America. So they're sending 2,800 troops to Montreal, 1,700 to Quebec, and 1,400 to Trois-Rivières region. Does that mean like they show up just on top of us? Because that's kind of annoying if that's... Like if they just like show up. Yeah, so they just come out of the north? They come out of nowhere? 1,500 men just barreling down on Quebec? Okay. We do have a general up that way. Definitely don't have enough men, but we do have a general. Fort St. John sort of blocks Fort Levy's advance on me. Do we have any... Can we recruit any new troops there quickly? Not really. Troyes could probably raise a regiment. It's going to take a good long while for those troops to get up there. Ticonderoga, they can move to Montreal. I think the key here is, for this particular campaign, what we need to do is we need to hold Montreal, make that sort of the building block of our defense, defeat the initial army that comes at us there, and then we can turn and retake Troyes and Quebec. I think that has to be the approach. Okay. Burlington's loyalty is good enough. We'll make Montreal the rally point. I don't want to leave Fort St. John too open because that will potentially open the door for an attack from Fort Levy. So I think Knox is going to go to Montreal. We're going to put 500 militia from Ticonderoga into St. John. And then we're going to go ahead and take the 900 regulars we've got at St. John and move them to Montreal. I'm tempted to just abandon Troy altogether. Bring those 500 back to Montreal to form a nice field army there. We can whip Blackwood first and then move northeast. I think this is the sea invasion warning thing. I think. That's going to be the best way to do this, because none of the troops in the south are going to get there quick enough. was moving Butcher to Clinton, and then I was going to pull Arnold out, but I do think pulling these guys out is probably the right move. The 500 troops at Quebec probably could pull out too, but I don't entirely want to abandon it. I'd rather them delay them at least a little bit so the enemy can't form up too quickly. That's sure. It's Franklin's Arctic expedition. Why not? But the enemy's moving through really rough terrain, so they're probably going to show up very, very tired. Which won't be enough for the defenders of Quebec, but it will factor into whenever Knox fights his first battle. I don't want to increase tensions with Spain. I'll take the reputation point. What? No! This wasn't the invasion? They're going for Falmouth? Okay, so they're attacking in Canada while they're also going for Falmouth? Which has no troops. Granted, it won't matter, because if they land with 3,000... Alright, well, we're going to need to pull Arnold away from New York. Butcher, you'll hold the south, I guess. The battle for Quebec has started. Okay. These guys are almost there. That'll free up 900 more men, so we'll have about 2,000 at Montreal at least. The problem is if they land at Falmouth, they very may well retake a bunch of these territories because they're all under-garrisoned. And while it seems like everywhere we fight, we are doing well enough on the kill-to-death ratio to narrow the odds every time, the problem for us comes down to being able to replace our losses with insufficient specialists, which are needed to raise new forces and whatnot. The issue doesn't seem to be manpower per se. I can replace my losses with recruits. What I'm struggling to do is I'm struggling to be able to have the officers to lead those men to keep those troops in line. Ironically enough, the huge windfall of New York and other things like that have allowed the economy to keep chugging, but again, the manpower is becoming a concern. Specifically on the specialist side. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please leave your thoughts down below. And as always, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.